Hi kids, welcome back to Wildcat Storytime. Today we're going to read a story by Leo Lionni. We've read one of his stories before. I think we read Tilly y el Muro in Espanol. That was about mice also. This one is also about mice. But before we begin, let's make sure that we're ready. Are you sitting in a quiet place? I am. Are you comfortable? I am. I'm in my favorite chair. And the most important, do you have your favorite stuffed animal? Of course I do. Hi, Nigel. All right, let's get comfortable. Are you ready? All right, the book we're going to read today is called Alexander and the Wind-Up Mouse. It's about friendship. Here's the cover. Before we start, I want to point out two things. So Alexander is a real mouse. The other mouse in this story is what they're calling a wind-up mouse. He's not real. You'll find out more about him in the story. Help! Help! A mouse! There was a scream, then a crash. Cups, saucers, and spoons were flying in all directions. Alexander ran for his hole as fast as his little legs could carry him. All Alexander wanted was a few crumbs, and yet every time they saw him, they would scream for help or chase him with a broom. One day, when there was no one in the house, Alexander heard a squeak in Annie's bedroom. He sneaked in, and what did he see? Another mouse! But not an ordinary mouse, like himself. Instead of legs, it had two wheels. And on its back, there was a key. "Who are you?" asked Alexander. "I am Willie, the wind-up mouse, Annie's favorite toy. They wind me to make me run around in circles. They cuddle me, and at night I sleep on a soft white pillow between the doll and a woolly teddy bear. Everyone loves me." "They don't care much for me," said Alexander sadly. But he was happy to have found a friend. "Let's go to the kitchen and look for crumbs," he said. "Oh, I can't," said Willie. "I can only move when they wind me up. But I don't mind, because everybody loves me." And here we see Willie lying on his nice white pillow. Alexander, too, came to love Willie. He went to visit him whenever he could. He told him of his adventures with brooms and flying saucers and mouse traps. Willie talked about the penguin, the woolly bear, and mostly about Annie. The two friends spent many happy hours together. I wonder who Annie is, kids. What do you think? Yeah, you're right. Annie is the little girl that lives in the house, huh? Did I show you the picture? I don't think I did. But when he was alone, in the dark, of his hideout, Alexander thought of Willie with envy. Ah, he sighed. Why can't I be a wind-up mouse like Willie and be cuddled and loved? One day, Willie told a strange story. I've heard, he whispered mysteriously, that in the garden, at the end of the path, close to the blackberry bush, there lives a magic lizard. Ooh, a magic lizard, Nigel. I hope you don't go after that lizard. He loves to hunt lizards. But this lizard can change one animal into another. Do you mean, said Alexander, that he could change me into a wind-up mouse like you? That very afternoon, Alexander went into the garden and ran to the end of the path. Lizard, lizard, he whispered. And suddenly there stood before him, full of colors, of flowers and butterflies, a large lizard. Is it true that you could change me into a wind-up mouse? Asked Alexander in a quivering voice. When the moon is round, said the lizard, bring me a purple pebble. Ooh, look at the lizard. It's very colorful. For days and days, Alexander searched the garden for a purple pebble. In vain. That means that, did he find the pebble or did he not find the pebble? Right, he did not find the pebble. He found yellow pebbles and blue pebbles and green pebbles, but not one tiny purple pebble. At last, tired and hungry, he returned to the house. In a corner of the pantry, he saw a box full of old toys, and there, between blocks and broken dolls, was Willie. What happened? Asked Alexander, surprised to see him in the box. Willie told him a sad story. It had been Annie's birthday. There had been a party, and everyone had brought presents. The next day, Willie sighed. Many of the old toys were dumped in this box. We will all be thrown away. Alexander was almost in tears. Poor Willie, he thought. But then, suddenly, something caught his eye. Could it really be? Yes, it was. It was a little purple pebble. See if you can see it, kids. Well, all excited, Alexander ran to the garden, the precious purple pebble tight in his little arms. There was a full moon. Out of breath, Alexander stopped near the blackberry bush. Lizard, lizard in the bush, he called quickly. The leaves rustled, and there stood the lizard. The moon is round, the pebble found, said the lizard. Who or what do you wish to be? I want to be... Alexander stopped. Then suddenly he said, Lizard, lizard, could you change Willie into a mouse like me? The lizard blinked. There was a blinding light, and then all was quiet. The purple pebble was gone. What do you think happened? Alexander. He ran back to the house as fast as he could. He was scared. The box was there, but it was empty. Too late, he thought, and with a heavy heart he went to his hole in the baseboard. All the toys have been thrown away. This is really sad, Nigel. But something squeaked. Cautiously, Alexander moved closer to the hole. There was a mouse inside. "Who are you?" said Alexander, a little frightened. "My name is Willie," said the mouse. "Willie," cried Alexander, the lizard did it." He hugged Willie, and then they ran to the garden path, and there they danced in the light of the full moon until dawn. Friends forever, Alexander and Willie. Just like you and me, Nigel, right? Friends forever. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. I'll see you here again at Wildcat Storytime.